Welcome back, I'm Captain Xavier, and today I'm going to be building a Longshot. I've yet to actually build a serious Longshot. I've considered it a couple of times, but then I got a Caliburn and it just kind of went to the back burner. But having now gotten the Prophecy, I actually had a good reason to really build it. One, I've been sent a boatload of really cool parts for one, and I really felt it was time to actually put them in something. So I think I actually now have all of the parts, minus maybe one or two. One I can print. Another one I may end up ordering. I don't think my printer is big enough to print it, but I'm going to be using this Zombie Strike one because it already had the front bits removed, and that just made it easier. I've got this extended barrel, which I think looks pretty nifty and is definitely look cool with the long barrel that's going to go in this kit. I've got this worker stock that I think is going to look great on there. I've got two different pump grip kits. I'm not sure which one I'm going to end up using. I've got the lower profile one that involves some cutting of the shell, and then the larger one that doesn't. I will start with the larger one, and if I decide I want it to be more svelte, I will go with that one. I then have a full rose in worker upgrade internals. Everything, the catch, the back plate, the plunger head, the full breech. As far as I know, it's all of the parts you need. It's a very pricey kit, and it should get this thing going pretty good. I then have 3 different springs. They gave me a 14 kilogram spring, an 18 kilogram spring, and an 18.5 turf blaster spring was also sent to me. So, don't know which one I'll end up putting in here for good, but I will probably test it with all of them just to see how it performs. And yeah, I will get the mag release printed off. I think I already have the files. The only thing that I don't have that is probably really, I'm going to wish I did, is the top rail replacement part. And I will almost certainly acquire one of those. So, may not end up in this video, as I'm hoping to actually use this build in a comparison video this weekend, and that is purely cosmetic and not necessary for that, so we will get to that eventually. But in the meantime, let's get this thing taken apart. Alright, we're in. Now we can start gutting internals, because most of this isn't going to stay. One of the few things that is going to stay is the trigger, because I don't have a metal trigger. And the plunger. Okay, I'm going to have to do some research just to figure out how this kit even works. So the front portion of the bolt screws off so that you can get it into the plunger tube. And that was something I was mildly concerned about, because I couldn't figure out how you did it. We need that part, but we don't need the rest, because we have a metal plunger head, as well as a metal back end plate. So we will start with a 14 kilogram spring. Alright, well, it turns out there are a couple of places where I'm going to need to Dremel a bit. In order to fit the breech in, I need to Dremel a little bit out of the front there, and then in order to get the upgraded super heavy catch spring, I'm going to need to maybe Dremel, maybe cut a little bit out of the back. Well, it comes with both a regular bolt as well as your pump grip. Oh, that is buttery smooth. Oh. Now this is a half dart only kit, just like the Prophecy. So that's a thing. It's dark now, but I'm gonna... Actually, it's not quite too dark, but it's getting dark. So I'm gonna make sure this thing actually fires. It fires. Even with the 14K spring, that was kind of terrifying. I don't know if I want to go any heavier than that. I probably will, just for science. Okay. Well, that's how the internals work. They are lovely. Now I need to finish up the cosmetic bits. Give it a paint job, of course. And get that mag release printed out. If I don't, I thought I had one printed. I'll have to dig through my bins. But yeah, get a paint job on it. Get the mag release. Order that top rail bit. And it'll be lovely. Should be ready by this weekend. It is done! And gosh, it's pretty. I really like how this one came out. I'd never been a huge fan of Longshots because I'd never built one. Then I built one. Now I'm a fan of them. I see what everyone was going on about. This one has the full Rose kit from Worker in it. Obviously, we saw me installing that. It's got the Worker pump grip, it's got the Worker stock, it's got the Worker top rail. That was the last piece that I was waiting on, and the reason it took so long to show this off to all. And I like how that installs. My cut up here wasn't perfect, but I was able to clean it up enough to not look terrible, unless you look at it exactly sideways, which you shouldn't be anyway. I decided to go ahead and put the scope on there that came with the Prophecies Barrett-looking kit, because I thought it just looked fantastic on this blaster that's already big and beefy and fantastic. I have this very cheap but functional bipod foregrip, just because I really like having a bipod on it. It obviously doesn't need the foregrip, but I like that. I may go with a nicer one at some point, get one of the all-metal ones, because this one's kind of it's less quality, poorer quality than the Stampede's one, but goes on Picatinny rail and is solidly attached at least. The one part that I haven't quite finished is the side rail. I found the file on Thingiverse to be able to print the Picatinny side rail. I just need to find the right size screws, which is neat. I do have the extended mag release. That came out quite nice. And then this one currently does have the scar barrel in it, in this whole front barrel assembly bit. The scar barrel is attached directly to the inside, and then there's a barrel. It extends outside of this barrel, but not enough to put the muzzle brake on and not have it look weird. So I tried to just add the barrel, but it won't fit over the scar barrel, and this won't fit over this orange barrel. So I had to nest them, and I'm wondering if I'm losing some power there to the nesting, but I think it's more likely that I just haven't fully properly tuned the internals, because I don't have much experience with tuning heavy-powered springers, so I probably need to check the O-rings and make sure it's properly lubricated and make sure the alignment didn't get messed up in all of the changes that I've been making. So the performance was decidedly subpar with the scar barrel on it, and it may also be because I only have a 14K spring in it. So I may go up to the 18 and see if that alleviates any of that problem. But there is something not quite right. It's not as buttery smooth as once it was. So I suspect there's an O-ring out of alignment or something. So I will open it up and tinker with it. But this is how it turned out. And I am well pleased with the results. I may throw some orange up here on the sight just to break up the black, because there's a lot of black on this. It does have, the reverse gear up stripes that I am a big fan of, the X-Strike colors. But that's an awful lot of black. I'd like to get some orange on the scope, but that's difficult because it actually does have lenses that you'd have to worry about getting paint on. and I could, pretty sure I could tape them well enough and keep it fairly safe. But I really like how this one came out, and I'm looking forward to running it at some point. It's plenty powerful, and I haven't got to test the accuracy because the performance was too poor for the Scar Barrel range test, but the prophecy served me well in that video, so yeah. I'm gonna have this on backwards. Lovely. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of this particular Longshot. I may go through and do more. I definitely want to do more of the detailing, all the bolts and the nuts and stuff in silver to definitely add a little bit more color, because, like I said, that's an awful lot of black. Probably go over the the worker logos in black, or the worker logo up here in orange, something just to break it up, give it some more color. Definitely do the Nerf in orange, stuff like that. But yeah, I like how this build came out. Let me know what you guys think of it down in the comment section, and suggestions you have for tuning it and maintaining it would be lovely. I do have more resources now than I had previously, but I still have remarkably little experience with this particular style of blaster. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what advice you have. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Lovely.